Hey guys, welcome back to the show, and on this episode, I'm going to be talking about a more recent movie starring one of my favorite actors because he's just so entertaining, Nicolas Cage. It's Willy's Wonderland, a movie about a man trapped inside of a restaurant with 8 killer robots. Now, some of you may be thinking, wow, that kind of sounds like a ripoff of the Five Nights at Freddy's video game series, but both the writer and director say that's not the case at all, and quite frankly, I believe them. The idea of animatronic animal characters coming alive and going crazy isn't exactly new. In fact, I remember thinking about that when I was a kid, and I'm willing to bet that anyone else out there who went to the Country Bear Jamboree at Disney World probably wondered the same thing. Either that or I was just a very disturbed child. The truth is probably a little bit of both. Anytime you go into one of those places where there's robots or animatronic characters or anything like that, just take note of where the exits are located. That's all you gotta do. Just be safe. I mean, yes, it's an outside chance that they're gonna come alive and kill someone, just as much as there's an outside chance that there's gonna be a fire. Anyways, the movie starts with Nick Cage going for a drive when suddenly he runs over some spike strips which blow out his tires, which sucks because clearly he was in a big hurry to get somewhere, I don't know. So the mechanic is like, yeah, that's gonna cost $1,000 and I need cash. Oh, and the ATM doesn't work because this entire town doesn't have any internet, which right there is a complete red flag that this guy is totally full of shit. I bet some of you out there are probably saying, well, you know, I could go without internet for a while, and I'm sure that some of you could, maybe like 10%, and that's being generous. The rest of you, after a few days, you'd start losing your mind. Oh my God, this looks like a really dangerous place just looking at all these missing people, which they clearly can't find. Probably because they don't have the internet. But the good news is that all Nick has to do is go and clean up Willy's Wonderland. It's kind of like a Chuck E. Cheese type place, and if he spends the whole night cleaning it up, they'll fix his car for free. By the way, did any of you go to Chuck E. Cheese as a kid? I never did. And I never really wanted to after I found out what the E stood for in his name. It stands for entertainment. His full name is Charles Entertainment Cheese. After I learned that, there just really wasn't any magic anymore. Oh, and by the way, Nick Cage doesn't say a single word throughout this movie. In fact, his character doesn't even have a name. He's just called the janitor. Anyways, this girl named Liv and her friends are on a mission to destroy Willy's Wonderland because they know the horrible, horrible truth. The pizza sucks and the prizes are lame. Oh, and they also kill people. Seriously though, there's something strange going on at Willy's Wonderland, and the janitor is about to find out what that is when the ostrich robot attacks him. So he beats the crap out of it, I guess all of this black stuff is supposed to be oil, and goes to take out the trash when he finds that he's been locked inside. At this point, I would be concerned. Not only that, I would be worried that the other robots were gonna come alive and try and kill me as well. But there's no time for that because the janitor takes his breaks very seriously. After all, the owner told him to take breaks.
And be sure to take breaks. Always good to pace yourself.
So every break is basically going into the back room, cracking open a fruit punch soda, and playing the Willy's Wonderland pinball game. Then he cleans the whole bathroom and the other characters break into song and dance. Again, no cause for alarm, I guess. The robots are just, you know, operating randomly by themselves. That's always a good sign. Just like in that one movie about robots. Yeah, you know the one I'm talking about. AI with Haley Joel Osment. You know, when he's like a robot kid. He was just like, I want to be a real boy or something. I can't remember the plot. But I think in the end, he just gets left in the bottom of the sea. So, yeah, always leads to a sad ending. There was that other movie, you know, with Will Smith, I, Robot. I never actually saw it because I don't care. But I assume that the whole movie was just like the robot was like, hey, I want to, you know, be free to do whatever I want. And Will Smith was like, no, because the world hates you. And everybody just destroyed the robot. I don't know, just guessing, but it probably what happened. So then he goes back into the bathroom, and look at this. Someone's just smeared blood all over the mirror. Okay, at this point, you gotta be worried, because this just shows a complete disregard for the cleanliness of public restrooms. You know, he spent all the time cleaning that up, and someone obviously saw that it was clean and did this because it was clean. That's like class A vandalism right there. Not only that, it's completely disrespectful and inconsiderate. Those two things are just terrifying. Just a lethal combination. Disrespect and being inconsiderate. You know, it's like they spend all this time trying to figure out psychologically why people turn into serial killers. Well, maybe you should look into their past and see if at any point they were inconsiderate. I'm sure that's in there somewhere. And you pretty much know what's going to happen here, even though it makes completely no sense. Where was this gorilla hiding? I mean, he swings down from the top, right? So where did he come from? The ceiling? You'd think he'd be able to see that. Anyways, he destroys this thing, and at this point, you'd think he'd be like, okay, you know what? Obviously, these things pose a threat. They've tried to kill me twice now. Maybe I should just go ahead and destroy the rest of them. Hi, do you know where I could trade these in? I feel like I might have enough for a keychain. But it's break time. The janitor has more important things to worry about, like sanding his nails, drinking more soda, and playing pinball. So Liv and her friends arrive to destroy the place and fall through the ceiling. Then, as Liv goes to destroy one of the robots, the janitor stops her, which I don't understand. I mean, why? The smart move here would be, all right, we got a bunch of people in here, let's gang up and destroy these things right away. The janitor doesn't say anything, and this is the point in the movie where everyone just somehow decides to be stupid. Most of them follow the janitor into the kitchen where they tell him what's really going on with this place, while these two decide to go off and have sex. So here's the deal. Willy's Wonderland was created by this guy who turned out to be a serial killer, and all the people that worked for him were these super disturbed people as well. Then when the cops busted into this place, they all decided to kill themselves as some sort of satanic ritual to ensure that their souls would live on, and they all took over the animatronic characters. You know, it's basically like Child's Play. And then, I don't know, the new owner, along with a bunch of other locals, made a deal with the devil to keep feeding Willy. So they try to get people to fall for the same thing that the janitor fell for. So again, keep in mind that these characters all know this, which is going to make their actions moving forward really dumb. Like standing there, staring at Willy, even though they can clearly see that the other robots have disappeared somewhere. You know that they're evil and that they're trying to kill people. Maybe you should be concerned about that. Hey, those evil murderous robots aren't on the stage. Well, let's just keep staring straight at it. I mean, they were just here a second ago, but this is just really captivating right now. Or having sex in a room where you know people have been killed, and you even see one of the robots standing there, but you don't, I don't know, stop and get the hell out of there? Or how about splitting up for some reason, instead of banding together and destroying these things? Of course, while all of this is going on, the janitor has got to stop for his breaks because, I don't know, either he's addicted to keeping a routine, obsessed with pinball, or he's trying to become diabetic. However, I will say it's a pretty funny contrast, you know, having these people being murdered intercut with Nick Cage just having the time of his life playing pinball. And this goes on for a while. It's exactly what you'd expect. They all get killed one by one, and then Nick Cage comes in and destroys the robots. Until this point where he's about to help Liv fight the robot that just killed her friend, but break time. Anyways, then the sheriff shows up, and oh my god, she's so upset that the janitor is destroying all of the robots because I guess it might anger Willy, so they handcuff him and leave him to die. And well, what the hell's wrong with these people? Is this really the best way to handle this whole situation? Well, apparently the townspeople just tried to leave the place alone and forget about it, but the robots got loose and started killing people all around town. So now you're probably thinking, well, why didn't the townspeople just destroy the robots? Well, the answer is because they didn't want to start a war with the machines and come off as crazy people. Yeah, it's totally crazy to want to destroy these robots that are wreaking havoc on the town, but not crazy to set up traps to lure people in from out of town into getting murdered by the robots, you know, in order to keep them at bay. And here's the thing, they also said that they were concerned that if they went to war with the robots, that some people might get killed in the fight. Well, come on, this isn't like a Terminator movie. This isn't exactly Skynet here, all right? And you're the ones with the weapons. Of course, they didn't handcuff him with actual handcuffs, so he breaks out of the zip ties and kills some more robots, finishes cleaning, and look at him now. He's really feeling this pinball game. I'm not exactly sure what this is, but whatever, it's amazing. Then as he takes out the robot parts to the trash, the sheriff sees him, gets pissed off, and again walks him back inside at gunpoint. Lady, I just don't understand this. Do you not see what's happening here? This guy is taking care of the problem for the whole town. You've been terrorized by these robots for years, decades even, and now some guy who doesn't even speak is taking them out in between his soda breaks. So the job is getting done. Just let him finish them off, and then boom, problem solved. Anyways, Willy slices her in half, and now we have the final fight, where at one point, Willy knocks the janitor into the ball pit, and I have to say, that's actually the scariest part of this movie for me. Do you know how dirty ball pits are? Apparently, they're just completely filthy, just breeding grounds for germs and bacteria. My friend Aiden once told me a long time ago, she read an article that talked about how the fecal matter in ball pits, for whatever reason, is just through the roof, which is just crazy to me. I mean, I can't exactly picture somebody just dropping trow and pinching off a loaf in a ball pit, but apparently it happens. Now, there's a few things about this movie I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed the cinematography in this movie, the use of colors was great, and having the confetti in the air during the final fight was perfect. I also really enjoyed the art direction in this movie. I think that this would be a really cool movie to work on from that perspective. And the special effects were great too. I really loved the look of the animatronic characters. Now, for those of you taking part in the 10th anniversary giveaway, this is the last code word. This is the 5th code word. Be sure to send all 5 code words in an email to 10yeargiveaway@gmail.com, along with your name and, if possible, your YouTube username as well. So the 5th and last code word is fall break. Now, apparently this script became really popular on the website Bloodlist, which is where Nick Cage first saw it and wanted to get involved with it, which I think is really cool. I always like hearing stories like that. I will say that going into this movie, I was hoping that it was going to be more fun than it actually was, but for me, it just didn't really feel like anything new. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who will enjoy it much more than I did, but I just found it to be pretty formulaic. But if you liked what you saw in this video, then I would recommend checking it out. But that's it for this one. As usual, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you all next time. Anytime you go into one of those places where there's robots or animatronic characters or anything like that, just take note of where the exits are located. Because if it happens, then you can be that person and be like, hey everybody, the exit's right here, let's go, come on. And then outside, when everybody's safe, they'll all, lift you up and parade you around, and the national headline on all the news stations will be like, Wonder Kid saves everybody's life, yay, Mark, you're the best, let's give him money.